Mark Andrews posted on Instagram for the first time and spoke publicly about how he felt after that devastating divisional loss. There was a lot of attention about Andrews not saying anything, not speaking to the media, not for days. For days no one heard from him publicly anyway. Just his overall reaction, because we know what happened. We all saw it. One thing I don't tolerate, and I never will, is the death threats that people were giving Mark Andrews and his girlfriend as well. If you're one of those people that are doing that, I think you should be arrested and you should not be allowed back on social media. I want to be very clear about that. It is never going to be that serious that you give death threats to any player because of a game. I was a pissed off Ravens fan too as well. I was pissed off at Mark Andrews in the moment, but you will never hear me say or write anything to that level to spew that kind of stuff onto another person. It's not worth that. It's nothing in this life is worth doing that to somebody over a football game. I'm sorry. So I think whoever has been doing that, I generally think you should be arrested and should not be allowed on social media ever again, because that's just ridiculous. Now, I know Mark Andrews should have spoken to the media, because if you remember, way back when Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers were in the Super Bowl and they lost, there was a lot of heat coming on Cam Newton for not wanting to speak to the media. I think a lot of times we forget that these players are people as well, and it's hard to speak to anybody after a crazy emotional loss like that was for the Ravens, for anyone. I'm a former athlete. I understand how it feels to have devastating losses, and you really don't want to speak to anyone. Personal story for you, going back to my senior year at Maryland, I remember we had a game at Ohio State, and it didn't go well for us. We were getting kind of blown out, actually. Coach put me in. My job was to get some energy and, do my job. I didn't do my job. I got dominated for a couple of offensive rebounds, gave up another foul, and it was just a real, it told the entire story of the game. And I took that so personal that I broke down in tears. Because it wasn't even that we just lost. It was how we lost and how I didn't contribute to doing anything but making it worse. So I understand not wanting to see anyone, because the next day I didn't leave my room. I didn't talk to anyone, didn't say anything. I just stayed to myself in my room all day the next day. So I get it. Now, these professional athletes, they have an obligation to speak to the media. I understand all that, but we can't really trash Andrews but so much. I didn't want to trash Cam Newton back then when he did it. Again, I understand that athletes have an obligation to speak to the media after games when their presence is requested. I get all that. But I draw the line at death threats. I'm sorry. I draw the line at death threats with anyone.